think the biggest thing, I think I mentioned it, I remember one night and, the Cavs were getting on the plane and the Cavs had blown, I think it was, my goodness, had to be an 18 to 20 point lead. I was against Detroit and this was still 93. This was it was the end of Doherty was out for the whole year. Price had been injured and was starting that transition from Price, Doherty, and Nance, and what then would become the Mike Fratello teams of Terrell Brandon,
Phils,
the late Bobby Phils, yep. Chris Mills, Michael Cage. They kept Hot Rod for a couple years, but, it was an aging Hot Rod. So Bobby Sura,
Tyrone Hill,
Marley was brought in.
Yep.
So it was that group of Cavaliers, and I thought Mike Fratello would have them, finish 47 and 35 and get a playoff spot, and then get beat by the Knicks in the first round.
Yep.
And that happened twice. By the way,
you got swept, yeah.
Yep. The 5 year, 5 years in a row in the playoffs. But the biggest thing for me is that, Joe, sometimes he'd see me and I'd be, I don't know, I won't say upset, but I'd say about the game. And, if this particular play would have been run effectively, Joe, or if they could have got a stop here, and Joe and his, I'm going to do my best Joe Tait imitation, because he's like, he'd look at me and shake his head and go, Michael, you don't win a game, you don't lose a game, and you sure as hell shouldn't let it affect you either way it comes out. Just get ready for the next one.
I love it. I love it.
And so I hear you, Joe. I got you. And but Joe, what I'll tell you the truth, and because in fact I told your grandfather this story and his dear friend Phil Bova these stories as well. Joe loved the horses and the racetrack, and he loved also to go and play the slots in casinos. He didn't like to tell you about the slots. He'd sit there. So he'd set up, we'd be going, say a trip to Philadelphia. And Cavaliers going to play Philadelphia, and then it was the New Jersey Nets. Remember, they played in the Meadowlands there. And he's like, Michael, we got a day off in between. He said, I'm going to get a car, and we're going to go to Atlantic City. And he said, you and I'll have we'll relax and forget it. He said, we ain't going to talk nothing about basketball. We're going to go to Atlantic City, and I might play a race, but I'm going to play the slots all day long, and then we'll have dinner. And I tell you, Brad, I probably did that 50 times with Joe. That was our days off all around the NBA. And I love doing it. I felt honored. Well, you know what? If he wants me to be the one to go with him and have the off day like that, hey, on the road, let's go. Let's go do that. And it was a great time. I mean, the only thing is he wouldn't, he'd like to go like 52 miles an hour in the left lane. We got 18 wheelers beeping the horn at us. Get over. But hey, Joe, I'll drive to Atlantic City. I got it, Michael. I'm fine. I'll take care. So, but I say that with all love. I miss him dearly. And I just think about his 14 years having those kind of memories with him. And I remember as much literally, probably more, Brad, to be honest, like I just described, on off days, he and I getting together, like I said, if there was a casino around where we were, oh boy, when we were in, in San Francisco at Sacramento, I know where we were going. We were going to Reno, Nevada, and he'd get the car and we'd be going to Reno. And I was like a given. When we were in Texas, we would go over to the river boats in Louisiana. And that's what, again, now, this is this is the 1990s and on, late 90s and on in the early 2000s. So, Joe is moving along in his career, but those were the things that became very, very important to him. And I would say, and again, it's but to him, it was like, hey, I'm doing a job here. And I don't think as he went along, well, I know he told me as he went along, calling the NBA 25, 30 years, he realized, listen, I'm going to call the game and I'm not going to worry about it too much one way or the other because whatever's going to happen, happens. Want the Cavaliers to be successful, of course. But if they're not, oh, well, there's another game coming up tomorrow night. And that was his approach on things. And I think he was trying to tell me, you better stop being so low when things aren't going well, because you're going to work yourself into a place you don't want to be.
I love it. And it sounds like my dad. That's like every time certain team to lose, he gets so upset. And even to this day, he still does. But over the years, he's calmed it down. So me and my dad's favorite restaurant is a place called Whitey's out in Richfield, and his wife used to work there. And my dad knew his wife, and she was awesome. And yep. Mm-hmm. And I remember as a little kid meeting her many times. And so, yeah, Joe Tait has a very special place, I think, in all, Clevelanders' hearts. And I remember when he passed, reading a lot of the comments, there wasn't one negative comment. I mean, you read down, I don't care where you were, it was just people just beloved the man. And to me, he's truly a treasure. I mean, he was a broadcasting treasure, and someone who, again, listening to him on the radio, I mean, he changed I can't listen to other teams' broadcasters now on the radio, in other cities because Joe is so good. It kind of ruined it for me. It is.
Oh, I agree with you. You said it beautifully, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like I said, he was, to me, he's top 5 all time, and the greatest radio play-by-play guys in NBA history. And I'll tell you what, he called baseball pretty well too. He did the Indians for many, many years. And in the last many years, to show you, like we said, how he was born on a farm in Illinois. And Brad, for I don't think he did it. He probably hasn't since 2018. But in even these last few years, he would call Mount Union football. They had a tremendous program down in Alliance. They would tape delay their games and their home games, and so they'd air on Saturday night on one of the lower powered, smaller Canton stations. Joe did that for years.